Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you guys how I maintain my retwist. As you guys know, or if you don't know, the last video that I posted was where I retwisted my roots after washing my hair. I did a whole wash day routine, but I retwisted my roots with my favorite Nature's Blessings hair pomade, which is a grease. I like this grease because it gives me a little bit of a hold, a little bit of an extra hold as opposed to my oils. So I like to use this hair grease, especially when I want to keep my retwist for a longer period of time. So I'm showing you guys how I like to maintain my retwist in between wash days, because you know, sometimes my retwist, I don't know about you, let me know down below, how long does your retwist usually last? Mine usually lasts for like 2 to 3 days, and then of course my roots begin to unravel and appear more puffy. So this week was very important for me to maintain my retwist so that I can be sure that my hair maintains a neat look as I have important things that I have to get done throughout the week. So if you are also in that category, this is a great method for you. So I'm starting off by, first of all, I brushed my locks. Make sure that there is no lint left on top of my locks. And this spray that I am using right now is my DIY rose water spray. If you are looking for a way to make your own rose water spray, it's super easy. All you've got to do is use some old dried rose petals and boil it together with water as if you were boiling tea. Strain it into your favorite spray bottle, and there you go. You've got rose water. Of course, with the water, as far as the water, you want to use a distilled water, not tap water. So yeah. This is my best way to maintain moisture in my newly colored locks. As you guys know, I did recently color my locks honey blonde, but of course right now it's looking more gingery. You guys know I'm about to apply another set of color on top of it. But in the meantime, I want to be sure that my color treated locks are moisturized at all times. Listen, take the top off, sis. Yeah, so as you guys see, this bottle comes with a nozzle, but it has a hood on top. If you're not careful, you will be using the bottle and not sure why there's no oil coming out. You've got to take off the hood. But I love the Design Essential oils, this one in particular, because it feels very cooling and it smells so good. This oil comes with tea tree, peppermint, and so many other beneficial oils that keep my hair feeling its best. And as you guys know, when you color your locks, no matter which color you color them, whether it is a blonde or a black, you want to make sure to moisturize your hair more often than you usually do. So now that my hair is moisturized, feeling great, and smelling delicious, we can continue. So I am grabbing these banana clips because they help me to keep my hair, you know, organized as I'm doing my braids, because the last thing I want is to have a lock intermingle with another as I'm trying to braid my hair, and that just leads to frustration and having to do too much. I like organization, you know what I'm saying? So I'm taking 3 locks, of course moisturizing it, sealing that moisture into the locks. And the first thing that I do is I kind of give a gentle retwist at the roots. And so after I retwisted sufficiently, I then go ahead and give a little bit of a tight braid, and then I slack off the tightness as I go along the length of the lock. So I start off tight, and then as I continue down the lock, down the braid, I loosen up so that the braid looks full and doesn't look stick thin and it's not stifled. The last thing I want to do with my locks in this state is to stifle them with a very skinny braid. The only part that I am more interested in keeping tighter are the roots. So I'm doing it again. I am giving a light retwist to these locks, and then I just go right ahead, give it a tight braid, and then loosen the grip along the length of the locks. This will definitely keep your retwist intact because you're kind of giving it a second retwist. You're not doing it tightly, of course, but you're just doing it lightly, gentle enough where you have the roots maintained and they're in its perspective, areas. You're not just going in and braiding right on top of your locks, but you are maintaining the roots, making sure that all of the locks are in its rightful places, all of the hair is in its rightful places, and you just continue braiding down. If that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So this is super easy. This is a really great way to hold your retwist for a long period of time and also have a style for the present and the future. So as I'm doing these braids, I know that after I do these braids, I have two options. I can keep my braids in for months if I choose, which I know I'm not going to do because I never do that. Like, I get agitated very easily when my hair is anything but loose. So I'm probably going to keep these braids in for a few days and then take them out and enjoy a nice braided curl pattern. So yeah, the first thing that you could do is keep your braids in for a long time. And if you choose to do that, great. Because after you take them out, you have a really great curl pattern that you can extend into weeks at a time. So this is a great way to have a two-in-one style. You have options. You can take them out immediately or you can keep the braids in for a longer period of time. So with this particular style, I am using rubber bands at the ends of my locks. This is completely optional. You don't need to have rubber bands at the ends of your locks. If your locks are lengthwise at a place where you can just go ahead and not use rubber bands, I encourage that. Actually, I encourage you not to use the rubber bands if at all possible. For me, I have to because my locks are different lengths, especially after cutting a few because of some weakened spots that I saw along the length of my locks. So I did cut them and my locks are all different lengths. And so that leads me to need to put in a rubber band at the end because if not, it's just going to unravel because I may have like a short lock and then two long locks that I'm braiding and it's just a situation. So with using these rubber bands, I am being careful to only wrap them twice. And if it is one of those longer, bigger rubber bands, in the rubber band pack, you always have some that are a little bit more stretched out. I will wrap that 3 times around my locks, around the braids. But if at all possible, if you choose to do this, I would recommend not wrapping your locks as much. Just try to keep it 2 to 3 times you wrapping the rubber band around your locks because in my experience, and I can't say the same for everyone, but for me, I know that in the past when I wrapped my locks more than twice, 3 times, 4 times with the rubber band, I always ended up with thinning at the ends of my hair. So that's just something I don't want to experience again. And if your hair is anything like mine, you probably want to avoid wrapping your locks extensive amounts of times with the rubber bands. I hope that makes sense too. Am I making sense during the entirety of this video? I hope so. So this style is easy also because anyone can do it. Even if you are a girl who just does not like to do styles, you just cannot. And I know that there are many of us like that. Some of us, we just cannot, okay? If you are that girl, all you need is a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. But this entire style for me, it only took me half an hour. I put on a podcast and I was done by the end of the podcast. So it is really not something that will take all day long. You just need a little bit of time. And if you know how to braid, you can do this. You don't necessarily have to visit a loctician to get a braided style like this. You can do it at home. It's really simple and easy. So if you notice at the ends of my hair, I do use the rubber bands, but I'm not looping the rubber bands. I'm kind of just leaving my ends like free, just frayed out. And I'm doing that for now for a reason, because at the end, when I'm all finished with all of the braids, when I'm done braiding all of my hair, I will go ahead and loop the ends so that they're not like sticking out and poking out like you see right there. So this time I leave that for the last step. I did do this before. Right after washing my hair, I retwisted my locks into braids in a previous video. And in that video, I did loop the ends immediately, you know, just as I'm braiding, I loop the ends. But this time I want to just braid, rubber band my ends, and then loop all of them all at once towards the end. Just something that I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know why I did it. But I just thought maybe it would kind of save me time as well. Now, one mistake that I made that I realized as I started doing this particular hairstyle, as I am maintaining my retwist after already retwisting my hair, I made the mistake in thinking that I had to go along the direction of my retwist on both sides of my head. But the reality is you really don't have to do all of that if you're doing this too. I realized that I didn't need to do that. All I needed to do was just gently retwist, like twist the roots and then braid them immediately. So if the roots were a little bit longer, like I have some roots that were a little longer because that particular area grew out a little bit faster, I will take some time to go in that direction. But after I hit the rest of the lock that is not the retwisted part, I just go right ahead and braid. And so if that makes sense to you, you really don't have to be so self-conscious as far as which direction to braid your hair. Just gently twist your roots as I'm doing right now, and then grab them, braid it tight, and then continue braiding looser along the length of the rest of the lock. Like I said, this is so easy. I guess I kind of overthought it in the very beginning. Then I realized, wait a minute, like all I have to do is just make sure that the roots are good, but the rest of the lock should be good. It should be fine if I just braid it as usual. So yeah, so as you can see, there is a lock that is way longer. I did loop it and wrap it around the lock. And this is the reason why I use these rubber bands, because if not, I will have a mess. So now that I'm all done, I'm not yet done because I am checking my locks, making sure that everything is good, but I will take this time to wrap the ends of my locks. And so right now I'm gathering the ones that I think need to be wrapped. I don't wrap all of them, but I only wrap some just to maintain a clean aesthetic. You know, I don't want my ends just frayed out. So I wrap these again, and I'm not really trying to be precise and perfect, but I just wrap, I pull them up and wrap them tight. Not too tight, but I wrap them again just to keep a nice blunted ends look. Because if not, my hair, it just doesn't look like a look to me. But like I said, it's completely optional if you choose to do that. Some people do enjoy that frayed out look. Maybe some of your locks don't do the same things as say mine does, but for me, I definitely need to wrap my locks all over again. So as you can see, continuing, it's really, really simple and easy. Not much to it. And these rubber bands cost me like $1. So all you need is $1. Listen, 2 straight locks. Are you kidding? There's always a few locks that are missing. And because I don't know my lock count. So I'm constantly doing these styles and constantly shocked when I see like one stray lock or two stray locks that are not in twists or braids or whatever style I'm doing. So one of these days I need to just go right ahead and count these locks. Maybe I'll do it on camera for you guys, because some of you guys have also been asking me how many locks do I have. The last time I counted, I have a little over 110, but I don't quite know the exact number, so maybe I have to recount. I mean, all this time I didn't really think it was very necessary to know exactly how many I have, but as I do these styles, it seems like it is important to know so that I can strategize and plan my hairstyling accordingly. Because I know that I have an odd number of locks. So if I'm doing like a 2-strand twist, I'm definitely gonna have to like figure out, okay, I need to do one braid or put 3 locks into a twist at some point because of the odd number. I'm just rambling and talking about math and all of that stuff. But all of these things are so necessary because if you want a certain look, you kind of have to pre-plan all of this beforehand. So this is the look, and what I'm doing right now is grabbing my favorite headband. This is actually a handmade creation of mine, and putting it over on top of my locks. And I think that this is a great accessory to wear when you have a nice braided style like this. It changes up the look if you don't want to just wear it down. I like it. It's cute. It's a look. What do you guys think? Comment down below and subscribe on your way out because I will be uploading videos almost every day. Fun videos just for you to keep you inspired. Thank you for watching. I love you and I'll see you in the next one. Later guys. Bye.